Hello and welcome to this video. I'm Marcus Hayes and today you join me on the way to my garage to work on my favourite car, and that will of course be shown on my other channel. Now, a couple of days ago I reached 100 days clean from drink and drugs, which is an awesome achievement, don't get me wrong, but I didn't really have any desire to celebrate it too much, and that's because, as I mentioned in the last video, I believe that the same part of your brain that celebrates every little win is also the same part of your brain that gets depressed and down about every lose. And I don't want to be going from extreme emotion to extreme emotion. I want to keep myself on a level, obviously enjoying life, obviously dealing with the down times, but yeah, not unnecessarily reaching the extremes. Another reason why it's not really worth celebrating 100 days clean is because I believe now that I should be living a clean life. It's not anything extra. It's just that finally, aged 37, nearly 38, I've made a decision to actually try and live my life the way that I should be. So, yeah, maybe in another 15 years time, then I'll celebrate hitting 100 days clean. Because if I'm nearly 38 now, it was probably around 12, 13 years old that I started, you know, not really concentrating at school. It was around that time that I started smoking weed. So yeah, you can say that I've pretty much been a waste man for 15 years. Although, as I've explained before, there were times during my 20s that, you know, I went through spells where I wasn't smoking weed, but I was still drinking, spells where I was smoking weed and drinking, but not sniffing cocaine. Like, you know, there was good and bad times, but ultimately, as far as I'm concerned, I've been an absolute waste man for definitely my whole entire adulthood, but realistically, probably since my mid-teens. But, you know, my girlfriend was really proud of the fact that I was coming up to 100 days, and she suggested that she was going to take me out for a Nando's to celebrate 100 days. And it's funny, here's an example of how I now observe and analyse what happens in my mind on a day-to-day basis, and that's something I have to do. You know, where it comes to writing my journal every day, that is literally what that is. It's writing down my thoughts, you know, just so I can keep an eye on them. So when my girlfriend first said, yeah, I'm going to take you for a Nando's to celebrate, I was like, look, thank you, but I don't want this to be a big deal. Yeah, I don't want to celebrate. And I explained it to her as I've just explained to you. And she was like, okay, that's fine. And then on the day of 100 days clean, I'd been around the garage working on my favourite car, got caught in the rain and stuff. And I was in a good place, and I wasn't, you know, unhappy or anything. But I came home and, you know, my plan was to go to the gym that evening. But I came home and then my mind sort of used the idea of going to Nando's as an excuse to not go to the gym. So, you know, I ended up saying to my girlfriend, okay, so are we going Nando's then? And then obviously we went to Nando's. Now, when I went to Nando's, I had chicken with salad, which is what I have nowadays at Nando's. So, you know, I had a healthy meal. All right, I didn't go to the gym, but I did go to the gym the day before that. I went boxing the day before that, and I went to the gym the day before that. Obviously doing my exercises every morning anyway, so it's not a massive deal that I went to Nando's and had a chicken salad that evening to celebrate being 100 days clean. You know, it's not a massive deal at all, but it's just an example of how my mind tries to trip me up, tries to hold me back. You know, realistically, I should have gone to the gym that night. You know, I could have gone to the Nando's at the weekend. You know, we're at the weekend now instead, but you know, my mind used that as an excuse to persuade me to not go to the gym, and going to the gym is what I should have done. But anyway, you know, it's just an example, you know, and that sort of part of the mind that tries to drive me to do stuff that isn't, you know, bang on my healthy life, that's the part of the mind that might, if I let my guard down, cause me to go and use. You know, if I get to 200 days and, you know, I've had a bit of a hard week, or I've been working really hard, you know, that part of my mind might tell me, yeah, go on, you deserve, you know, just this one session, you know, it'll try and persuade me that I'll be able to have this one session and then get back on my healthy life, when I know deep down that I have to be on this healthy life every single day, looking after my physical and mental health every single day, for me to stay away from drugs and for me to just become the best person that I can. And I know that it might seem like I'm banging on to you guys about living this healthy life, and I am, because I'm going to keep banging on about it to myself. You know, I know that a lot of you guys out there find these videos motivational and stuff, but a lot of you out there probably have come over from my car channel, and, you know, you're watching these videos just because you're happy to see me battling my demons, you know, which is fine. You know, I appreciate all you guys that are watching this video. These videos are doing a lot for me, and, you know, I feel that they're doing a lot for other people out there, even if, you know, a lot of you guys that watch these videos aren't like me, you know, bang on a regimented healthy lifestyle. But, you know, it's a fact that if you are not happy in your life in any way, you know, whether it be slightly not happy, whether it be, you know, just a little bit worn out, a little bit uninspired, or whether you're a full-blown drug addict like me, it's a fact that if you look after your body, eat clean, exercise every day, keep an eye on what's going on in your mind, whether it be meditating every day like I do, or whether it be just taking some time out of every day to focus solely on what you're doing at that moment, yeah, it's gonna improve your life. You know, if you feel that you have mental health issues, like whether they be massive mental health issues or whether they be slight mental health issues, looking after your body is going to affect your mind in a good way. Yeah, eating rubbish food, even just now and again, you know, even if you persuade yourself that it's not that bad, you know, eating rubbish food affects the way your body works, which affects the way your mind works. The key to a truly happy, satisfied life is to keep yourself as healthy as possible, whether it be physically, whether it be mentally, whether it be spiritually. And I would urge everyone to at least take small steps in your life day by day to improve your physical, mental and spiritual health. And look, if you are watching this video and, you know, you're getting tired of hearing me banging on about it, that is your mind trying to draw you away and trying to make you less healthy than you could be. And what I would say as well is, to anyone out there who is having a great life, yeah, you might be, you know, you might have a great job, you might have loads of money, you might have a great relationship, you know, your life might be fantastic, like literally dream life. You might wake up every day and pinch yourself because you're so lucky, but you're living unhealthy, you're smoking every day, you're drinking too much, you're eating crap. Your life will be a million times better if you were to turn yourself into a more healthy person. So, you know, there's no excuse for anyone out there to not strive to be a little bit, or like me, a lot healthier, you know. And don't bank on society and the media and the world we live in to persuade you. Yeah, it's going to do the opposite. Yeah, the life we live in, the society we live in, it's all aimed towards making us all docile, making us all spend money on things we don't need, yeah? It's down to you to improve your life, improve your health. Yeah, it really is. Now, the problem with a lot of people, and this is a problem that I haven't had for many, many, many years, is that a lot of people just believe that things can't be made better. And, you know, because of the things that I've been watching online and because of, you know, trying out different things, even when I was deep in addiction, you know, just trying little things and seeing results, you know, I've always known deep down that I can affect how I feel, I can affect my life. You know, where I'm at is down to me. It's not, you know, because I'm not a chosen one, you know, I'm not lucky, you know. But yeah, a lot of people, they believe that they can't improve their life. And for me, a simplified way of looking at it, right, is there are things in your life that you cannot change. Yeah, fact. You know, and some of us have got more things that we can't change than others. You know, some of us have, you know, got really bad starts in life and stuff, right? And I don't mean fooling yourself into thinking that the things you can change, you can't change. Like, for instance, giving up an addiction. You know, oh, I'm addicted, can't change that. No, you can. I'm talking about the things that you can't change. Like, if you're born with no legs, yeah, you can't change that, right? Now, when it comes to those hardcore things that you can't change, you need to accept them. You need to accept them almost as if you chose them, right? And it's key, because the time you spend battling with things you can't change, you know, in your own mind, you know, being at conflict with these things that you can't change, that's taking time and energy away from the things that you can change. So, you know, you really do need to accept the things you can't change, and simultaneously, very important, strive to change the things that you can change. How many people out there do you know that literally moan about things that they can't change on a daily basis? They're at conflict in their own minds, you know, constantly banging on about things that they can't change, yeah? And then, lo and behold, they're the same kind of people that don't put any effort into changing the things they can change. And then you get other people that never really moan about the things they can't change, and lo and behold, they're the kind of people that are striving to change the things they can change. Now, ultimately, we've only got a certain amount of time on this planet. So you're not even going to have enough time to focus on every single thing you can change, let alone wasting time focusing on things that you can't change. But what you will notice is, if you start becoming someone that is focused on improving your life, focused on things that you can change, then a lot of the things that you might have once assumed that you can't change, you'll realise that you can change. So ultimately, the message is acceptance and change, okay? Accept the things that you can't change, yeah? Now, some of the things you can't change are really bad, like they might cause you distress. But then that's where, you know, focusing on living in the present moment, focusing on being grateful for the good things in your life, you know, seeing things as they are, you know, that's going to help you not be absolutely obliterated mentally by these things that you can't change. You know, if you keep focusing on the positive things, then you're not wasting as much mental energy on the negative things, in the same way that if you focus on the things that you can change and the things you can improve in your life, you're not going to be wasting so much mental energy on the things that you can't change. And you've got to be careful. As I mentioned a little while ago, you don't want to fall into the trap where your mind persuades you that things that you can affect and can improve and can change can't be changed. You know, if you've got an addiction and deep down you truly want to change that, or you'd prefer not to be in an addiction, and I think if you're strong enough to be honest with yourself, everyone who's got an addiction would rather not have an addiction. Yeah, you need to not allow your mind to tell you that, oh, you know, that's just the way it is. I can't stop. I've tried. Well, no, you haven't tried. If you're still in your addiction, if you're still following that addiction, you're still, you know, whether it be smoking cigarettes, whether it be taking drugs, you haven't tried. You haven't tried hard enough. You can get yourself out of addiction. It's just easier to stay in the addiction. It would have been much easier for me to carry on taking drugs. You know, at the time it's great, you know, when you're getting high, but, you know, in the grand scheme of things, it would be a lot worse. So, you know, you need to get to a point, whether it be by watching positive people, you just need to get to a point where you believe that change can be made, because it can. I've said before, like, you know, the fact I'm not a multi-millionaire right now is down to me. You know, if I put enough effort into it, I can do anything. There's nothing in my mind that it's like, oh, I am where I am and that's it. No, because that's the kind of mindset that will keep you where you are. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Your reticular activation system, the filter that your brain uses and only shows you things that you're looking for. So if you're constantly going through your days believing that nothing can be changed, then nothing's going to change. Like, there is such a thing as a reticular activation system. It's a real thing. So that, you know, you see what you believe, you don't believe what you see. So the more you fill your experience in the world with positivity and inspiration, you know, the more opportunities that will come to you. Like, it's a fact. But as I've already mentioned in this video, there are some things that you can't change. You know, the example I gave, if you're born without any legs, then you ain't got any legs. You know, it'd be terrible not to have any legs. But if you go through your life constantly thinking, I ain't got no legs, can't do anything because I ain't got any legs, then you're not going to be able to do anything. Whereas someone else who's like really, really positive, they'll focus on the fact that, yeah, you know, you can get some prosthetic legs, or they'll focus on the fact that, you know, it's only 2 limbs. I've got the rest of my body. Like, you know, I've still got a brain. I'm still alive in this beautiful world. Like, you know, it's not what you've got or what you haven't got. It's what you do with what you've got or what you haven't got. So accept the things that you can't change. Fully accept the things you can't change, whilst striving at all times to change the things you can change that are going to improve your life. And the more you focus on the things you can change, the less you're going to be worried about the things you can't change, because you're so busy focusing on the things you can change. And the more you become someone that strives to change the things you can change, you'll find that the amount of things that you can't change, or you thought you can't change, will be a lot less. I don't want to get into a situation where you're comparing one person's problems to another. Yeah, we've all got our problems, like, you know, and I'd urge anyone out there, don't compare yourself to other people, because that will trip you up as well. You know, those periods of time where I literally couldn't stop going to see my dealer every single day, and I was driving around in my van sniffing cocaine, risking my life, risking other people's lives, risking my driving license, risking my job. In those situations, my brain would throw up examples of crackheads on the street who are homeless, you know, oh, you're not as bad as them. And then that would reinforce, you know, that what I was doing was okay when it wasn't. You know, you're comparing yourself to someone else. So really don't do that. But at the same time, don't compare yourself to someone better than you either, because then that's a way of your brain beating you up and making you more depressed about your situation. So yeah, don't compare yourself to other people. But at the end of the day, we all have our problems, and they're different from one another. And ultimately, there'll be someone out there that's got bigger problems than you. And again, I don't like to compare, but just for the sake of what I'm trying to say, there'll be someone out there with way more problems than you that is getting on in life way better than you. Fact. Likewise, there'll be someone out there with way smaller problems than you, and they'll be doing worse off in life. They'll be trying even less than you. So it really isn't about what's happening to you, what you've got or what you haven't got. It's what you're doing. And, you know, in my opinion, most human beings aren't doing enough. Even me, you know, I'm striving every day to better myself, exercising every day, eating clean every day, having a cold shower every day, meditating every day, trying to be, you know, inspirational in a way, you know, as much as I can every day. And I'm still nowhere near where I believe I should be. And, you know, I choose to have that frame of mind, because that's what drives me forward, keeps me going. I don't want to feel like I've got to the destination, you know, that I've, you know, succeeded. Because that's when my mind's going to come in and tell me that I deserve to, you know, go on a bender and have a session, or, you know, come off the gas a little bit. So look, as usual in these videos, I have rambled a bit, but, you know, I wanted to mention that I'd reached 100 days, and I wanted to explain why, you know, I wasn't really looking to celebrate hitting 100 days, but I also wanted to explain to you how my mind kind of used that to trick me in a way to not going to the gym on that day. And even though it's not a massive deal, you know, I didn't, you know, fall off the wagon or anything like that. It's just an idea of how I'm constantly analysing my mind. Whenever it slips up, whenever it doesn't slip up, you know, just observing my mind as if it's a separate entity from myself, because it is. You know, I am the person, the spirit, the aliveness, the presence beneath what's going on in my mind. So yeah, just wanted to explain that. And then, you know, the idea that I wanted to sort of talk about in this video was acceptance and change. And I think it's important to, you know, do both of those simultaneously. Yeah, anything that you can't change, accept it, whilst focusing and utilizing your energy on changing the things you can change, those things you can change that are going to improve your life. And yeah, in my opinion, that's the best way to just continuously stay on track and improve your life, you know, day by day. And look, it's another way of using your mind as a tool rather than letting your mind use you as a tool. So look, I hope some of you have at least got something from listening to me ramble on. As always, do put any comments down below and I'll chat to you again very soon. Thanks for watching.